I'll now call this chamber to order. Good evening, everyone. And please rise if you can as we salute our flag. Remain standing for a moment of personal reflection. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Township Clerk, please call roll and read our statement of adequate notice.
Councilmember Hall.
Here.
Councilman Wendell.
Here.
Councilwoman Winston.
Here.
Councilwoman Zembicki.
Here.
And Council President McAvoy.
Here.
Also present, Mayor Brad Cohen.
Here.
Administrator Joseph Criscuolo.
Here.
And Township Attorney Anthony Iacoca.
Here.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231 Public Law 1975 by specifying the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda, by posting a copy on the bulletin board located in the main lobby of the East Brunswick Municipal Building, providing a copy to the Home News Tribune and the Asbury Park Press newspapers, posting a copy on the Township's website, and by filing a copy in the office of the Township Clerk, which will be entered into the minutes.
Council, you have before you Resolution 24-352, adopting our meeting minutes from our 11/25/2024 meeting. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to adopt.
And a
Second.
second. Is there a need for clarification or correction on these minutes? Seeing none, Township Clerk, please call roll.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zembicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Council, before us is Resolution 24-353, honoring and accepting the retirement of Richard Vigliotti. May I have a motion
Motion approved.
and a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Is Rich here? No. Then I'll read from the dais the resolution. Resolution honoring and accepting the retirement of Richard Vigliotti. Whereas Richard Vigliotti submitted written notification to the Township of East Brunswick that he will retire from the construction office effective December 1, 2024. And whereas Richard began a full-time career with the Township of East Brunswick as an electrical inspector on January 1, 1996. He was later promoted to electrical subcode official on April 15, 96, and then promoted to construction official on January 19, 2019, a position from which he retired effective December 1, 2024. Whereas throughout his 28 years of service to the township, he demonstrated exemplary characteristics to the Township of East Brunswick through his work ethic, his dedication, leadership, team spirit, and enthusiasm for the duties. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Township Council of the Township of East Brunswick, that Richard Vigliotti's retirement is hereby accepted with an effective date of retroactive to December 1, 2024. Be it further resolved by the Mayor and the Township Council of East Brunswick that they hereby extend their sincere and grateful appreciation to Richard Vigliotti for 28 years of service and dedication to the Township of East Brunswick, and we congratulate him on his well-earned retirement and wish him nothing but happiness, success, and good health in the years to come. Rich, wish you were here to accept this. Any comments from council? Okay, we'll hold that and put that into the record. You want the I didn't count? You didn't like that? You like the? You want the full vote? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zembicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Council, before us is Resolution 20, covered that one. We have a series of ordinances for second reading and subsequent public hearing. Township Clerk, could you please read ordinance 24-35?
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, amending ordinance number 23-30, fixing the grades, classification and grades, and compensation of employees of the Township of East Brunswick, covering the United Services Workers Union, Local 255 IUJAT, formerly MEA.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
I will now open this matter to the public. Seeing no one, I will close the public portion. Township Clerk, please call roll.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Councilwoman Zimbicky?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Everyone in the chamber, just understand we have we can't push these together. We have to do these separately. We have, I think, 8 different resolutions, ordinances, and so bear with us because it is the legality of the matter. Township Clerk, could you read ordinance 24-36?
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, amending ordinance number 23-31, fixing the grades, classifications and grades, and compensation of employees of the Township of East Brunswick, covering the Professional Managers Association, PMA, executive staff, and confidential employees.
I may have a motion.
Motion to adopt.
And a second.
Second.
I'll open this ordinance to the public. Seeing no one from the public, I'll close the public portion. Roll call?
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicky?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Township Clerk, can you read ordinance 24-37?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 23-32, fixing compensation for temporary, part-time, and seasonal employees for the year 2025.
Motion to approve?
Motion to adopt.
Second?
Second.
Open this motion, I'll open this ordinance to the public. Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicky?
Abstain.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Township Clerk, will you read ordinance 24-38?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 23-33, establishing the salary compensation for the East Brunswick School Crossing Guards Association.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call, please. Oh, public hearing. Get a little confused with all this. Repeat. Seeing none, we'll close public portion. Thank you. And roll call.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicky?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Township Clerk, 24-39.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 23-34, fixing the salary classifications for members of the Superior Officers Association, SOA 145A of the Township of East Brunswick.
Motion approved.
Second.
Open to the public. Closed to the public. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicky?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Township Clerk, please read ordinance 24-40.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 23-35, fixing the salary classifications for members of the Policemen's Benevolent Association, Local 145 of the Township of East Brunswick.
Motion approved.
Second.
Open this to the public. Close the public portion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicky?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Township Clerk, please read 24-41.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 23-36, establishing compensation and salaries for East Brunswick Special Police Association in accordance with contractual provisions.
Motion approved.
Second.
Public? No one? Close the public portion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicky?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. This is where I run into a little bit of a snag. I do believe 42 and 43 are still removed?
They're removed.
Yeah, next one is 24-44.
So we'll go to
4.
44.
44.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 102, Fire Safety, Section 14, Permits, to update various registration fees.
Motion approved.
Second.
Anyone from the public? Seeing none, close the public portion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. Township Clerk, 24-45.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapters 3-83, 102, and 209 with regards to parking fines.
Motion
Motion approved.
and a second.
Second.
Anyone from the public wishing to comment on this? Seeing none, close the public portion. And are we moving to 46?
Roll call?
There's no 46.
There's no 46?
No,
And
we're done, we're done.
46 and 47 are not
That's for introduction.
introduction, right?
Again.
You're good? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. We'll move on to our reports section of the meeting. We'll begin with our mayor, Mayor Cohen.
Thank you, Council President. A couple of items. One, wanted to thank everybody that was involved in putting together, running, organizing the Winter Wonderland that was this weekend. It was phenomenal turnout. It was really, really well attended. Weather was a little bit more cooperative than it was last year, but there was just so many things for people in the community to do there. But it involved a great amount of coordination between our Parks and Recreation Department, our Public Safety Department, and they really all deserve recognition. I did actually put out a post both on social media and on our webpage listing all the individuals who were involved because it was a monumental effort to get there, including those that contributed in terms of helping fund it from the community. So it was really a great community event, and hopefully even bigger next year. Just also wanted to remind folks as we approach 2025, look forward to getting out into the public like I've done multiple times over the last couple of years for town halls. A lot of opportunity for people to engage on topics relevant to major things going on in the township, whether that be development projects that have already started, but those that are yet to start, the community expansion of the community arts center, the rinks. There's a lot of really good things going on and a lot of things that people may have questions about in regards to those things, and I think the best way to do that is a interaction with the public by whatever means possible, but the town halls seem to be a great opportunity to meet people face to face on those issues. The third thing, also wanted to thank everybody involved in the Mayor's Gala that was last week. It was also a pretty big turnout for a charity that really does a lot of good things for people living here in the township who are in need of support. They raised a good amount of money, and it was a great time that everybody had, and we look forward to that each year. Also want to thank the Chateau for being so accommodating to the charity and being able to provide a really super event at bargain basement prices, so that money really all goes back to the charity. And then finally, I know there's been a lot of public chatter about drones up and down the state, and I know people have noticed it here in East Brunswick, but it's a phenomenon that's been reported throughout the state. I just wanted to let the public know that from the governor's office, from the New Jersey State Police, and the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security, they are working with federal authorities, but at this point, they continue to say that they are on it. They're letting us know if there's anything new, but at this point, there's no known threat to public safety at this time. So that's my report. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Crisculo, our business administrator.
Sure, just some comments on the agenda items. The resolution authorizing budget transfers. This is, once again, what we do at this time of the year to move some monies around from our budget into different line items. automotive parts have increased and various things have increased where we had monies that weren't spent in other areas, so we're doing those transfers. Happy to thank the council for the last meeting. Remember, we moved some CDBG money around, and we're going to award the contract for the Daisy Recreation Center kitchen area. And once again, that's a grant. So the $53,854.50. And then naturally, the other grant on the council agenda tonight is the 2025 Middlesex County Office on Aging grant for education, outreach, and recreation programs at the senior center, and that's for $33,000. And those last two that I spoke of are grants that we're getting from the county or the federal government. So thank you, that's all I have.
Ms. Lawful, our township clerk.
I have nothing to report.
Council members, board or committee? I beg your pardon?
Miss me. I have one item to report.
I beg, Mr. Iacoca, did
You missed me.
I bypassed you?
Yes.
I beg your pardon, our township attorney, Mr. Iacoca.
I have one item. At the last council meeting on November 25th, the council passed a resolution number 24-346, authorizing the planning board to conduct an area in need of redevelopment study with regard to the Brunswick Square Mall. The resolution was subject to attaching an updated parcel map. Based on my discussions with Director of Planning and the Redevelopment Agency Executive Director, the properties listed on the resolution and the attached map are correct. So there's no need to attach an updated parcel map. Just want to clarify for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Iacoca.
Thank you.
The map that we had at the last meeting was the correct map, is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
That is not
And I
what
have-
was suggested by the redevelopment agency.
I have Mr. Keith Kipp here who confirmed that the map is correct.
That was not what was suggested by the redevelopment agency. The redevelopment agency included Stardust Pools and Mayo Law.
The agency executive director confirmed that the lots and blocks listed on the resolution and the attached parcel map are
Incorrect.
correct.
Will you be able to provide documentation, Councilman
Yes.
Rendell?
Yes. That is incorrect.
Do we need to,
Nothing. Just an update.
do we need to postpone that one?
There's nothing to do, it's just an update.
Just an update? Okay, so then you're going to come back with,
Yeah, that's
Information.
incorrect. The agency itself indicated they wanted the law firm and Stardust Pools included as it completed a contiguous lot formation. And the fact that it wasn't included on the map is not what the agency suggested to the council.
all right, so then that's going to have to be rectified. Right now, we're sitting with what Mr. Iacoca has said, and you can prove that, differently.
But, as we spoke about at the last meeting, those two lots and blocks were going to be included, because I specifically stipulated that those two lots and blocks were going to be included at the last meeting.
So we're going to need, again, you're going to have to provide us with the legal information regarding those two
Certainly.
properties. Stardust and.
Certainly.
And,
Yeah.
was that the Mayo attorney?
The Mayo Law Firm, yeah. Is there one in between too? Yeah.
H&R Block?
Yes.
Okay, so there's three parcels of land that have to be
Okay.
straightened out. There's no, we're not voting on it. You're just.
There's nothing, of just information.
Township Council, board or committee reports. I've got something here. We have several positions available on our boards and commissions in the township. If you are interested, send a letter of intent and your resume to mayor@eastbrunswick.org. Advisory Health, Alliance Alcoholism and Drug Abuse, Arts Coalition, Cable Advisory, Commission of Aging, Environmental Commission, Recreation and Parks Advisory, Traffic Advisory, Water Policy Advisory. If you think you are interested in, put your resume together, and again, send that to mayor@eastbrunswick.org. And then, and just an anecdote, the mayor and I are getting together tomorrow to discuss all of this and see if we can find some people, get some recruits, and fill some of these that boards that need participation. I know it's difficult. I understand that. It's time-consuming. There's a lot of homework involved. But again, we have a passionate community and look forward to seeing some applications come in. I'll now open the meeting to the public. And will Township Clerk please read our public comment statement?
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the East Brunswick Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 5 minutes or less. At the conclusion of the statements or questions from a member of the public, the council president, at his discretion, may choose to respond or not respond.
Thank you. Someone wish to address the council president? Please.
Good evening. Nawal Tufel, Tall Oaks Drive, East Brunswick. So I am again on this podium for the same two things that I have been coming from the last few meetings. Why this council is not calling for a ceasefire. I know that you calling for ceasefire is not going to stop the genocide, but at least it's the right thing to do, and it is what most of the councils who stand on the right side of the history do. So what's stopping you from calling for a ceasefire? That's number one. The other important thing that I really think that all of you, including all the council members, even though who are not paying attention right now on their phones, people who are not listening, they all should be doing this, that we have a sister city agreement with Yamne, an Israeli city. We all know that Israel is committing genocide. Now, I have some stats for you because I don't know if you guys are really aware of the situation, if you are even paying attention, or if you are living in a bubble. As per a British surgeon who volunteered in Gaza just recently, he gave a speech in the United Nations saying that after Israel do the airstrikes, the drones of Israel would come and they would pick off civilians and children. Can you imagine? These are not the normal war crimes or normal human beings who are committing war. Israel, like what Israel is doing is beyond the horrors of even World War II. And it was a continuous act. Like he witnessed the same strategy where Israeli drones would come, pick off children who are left after the bombing. Most of them would be without limbs. Now, in today's headline of a mainstream media, Israel strikes on Gaza flour distribution. Can you imagine? There is a famine, people are starving, and people are in line to take flour, and they are striking those people, and 22 people were killed. So this is we have a sister city agreement with the city of Israel, which is committing all these war crimes. Then the Human Rights Watch has documented that Israel is using white phosphorus on civilian population. Now, I'm sure most of you would know that white phosphorus gives you severe burns. It literally melts your body, and they are children. Like more than 50% of the population of Israel is children. Then they are the worst crime of the humanity. They are starving civilians. They are blocking aid. They are restricting flow of any kind of aid, even flour, even anesthesia. And because of that blockade, children are going through amputations without anesthesia. So this is what Israel is doing with the population that is, it's beyond horrors. Like now the history, like when we used to think about like the worst crime in history, now Israel is on top of it. And Netanyahu has definitely surpassed Hitler. And then we have a sister city agreement with the city in Israel, and that is completely unacceptable. So I really urge all of you, councilmen, councilwomen, and Mr. President. So I I was told in last meeting that you were teacher of social justice, social studies, history. I cannot understand someone who has studied the history, someone who has raised a daughter, and I'm sorry to bring your daughter again because I was really moved by her, someone who has raised a daughter who cares about cats, and you cannot bring your council together and push our mayor to break the sister city agreement. It's not that hard. I mean, councils have done that before in the past with much lesser crime than Israel. So I think it's the right thing to do. I know it's too late already, but it's not too late in the sense that you still have time to do. So please do the right thing. I will keep coming to these council meetings. We will keep talking about it unless the sister city agreement is one way or the other demolished. And one last question, apart from this, sorry, I know I might have.
You're good.
How can I get the list of investments by this city? Like, I have looked at the financial statements online. It doesn't have like the detailed list of where the city is investing. So how can I get that?
I don't know that that's public information.
But there must be a way to.
All investments?
Well, we purchased some bonds, and we do put money in the bank just as we receive it. The township depository is public information, which is TD Bank. And we do buy bonds from, which is governed by local public contract law as a concession. So we can't just put it anywhere or any bank that gives us the highest yield, because we're supposed to be good members of the community to get the highest interest rate. So that's what governs it. It doesn't get governed by anything else besides public contract law and concessions and public banking and insurance law. So we have to follow that model.
Is there still a list? Is there still a way to get the list of which bonds we have invested in?
You could put an Oprah request into the clerk's office
Okay, and that's how I can get it?
and ask for the document, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you.
Council President,
Mr. Wendell?
You do not have a daughter.
No, but
This is the second time.
maybe referencing
couple
the
of weeks.
granddaughter?
Well, I don't know,
It's okay.
but
That error, it's a meaningless error. Reference, that's,
I heard someone calling you a dad, I thought.
yes, it's okay.
I don't think your granddaughter's ever been to a council meeting, though, correct? At least,
No.
Why did you tell me the first time that?
Right, I just felt that my private life is my private life. But everything is good. Thank you, Councilman Wendell.
just wanted to clarify.
Right, appreciate that. Chime in and have my back, as always. Anyone else wishing to address the council president? Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Zan Mughal. Mr. McAvoy, you were actually my history teacher in the 11th grade.
There we go.
And I still remember the secondary notebook.
That's right.
And I can tell you that you have definitely
No ifs,
made
ands, or
an
buts if
impact.
you're still using it.
That's correct. Yep, I take a lot of notes. So it's my first time attending the meeting. I'm actually really interested. My sister brought me here. So it was just a few weeks ago that I actually learned about the relationship we had with the sister city in Israel. Would anybody kind of expand on that and tell us like what it's
This is
about?
not the place for, a conversation to go back and forth.
Okay.
This is the time for you to make a statement under your First Amendment rights.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I guess the statement would be, literally had no idea. So I guess that's on me for not really following up and being as involved as we really all should be. Like, this is kind of crazy. In such a huge town, there's like, what, 15 people here? So would you know where I can get that type of information possibly, like on the relationship? Would anybody be able to answer that, or
No.
no?
What is the information that you need?
The relationship that we have with the sister city, like what does it entail essentially?
Oh. Do you want to comment on that?
No?
Okay.
No?
No.
Okay, so
Yes.
closed off.
Yeah.
No answers. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's kind of all I want to do, but thank you.
You can approach me afterwards and we can more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hang
Yeah.
around.
Thank you, and again, Mr. McAvoy, thank you for the secondary notebook, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Very good.
You got it.
Anyone else wishing to address this gentleman here?
Bruce Broward, Bradford Road, 40-year residence. And this is the thing I wonder, people come in here, they drive here and everything, and they ask a question, and rarely James will jump in and answer some questions or something like that. So I don't understand why people even bother sometimes, why. I mean, I know you don't have time for any kind of long, lengthy
Right.
thing or anything, but if anybody would just input something, just like the thing, I go back to ordinances you talk about, and you want to vote on and everything. But, and I asked somebody years ago on the council, why can't you give some kind of description to the people sitting here and the people on the camera, so we know what you're talking about again, you know? Even just a quick little description of what that ordinance is about, or you talk about Stardust pools and everything, and I'm like, what did you even talk about, the mall, the pools? You know, just simple things like that, just more information out there that, like I said, you can't go into too many details, and some things you might not even know the answer to, but at least try to lead people and let them down lightly that you can't help right now, maybe.
Well, my
somebody-
counter to that is that the agenda is online. So if you
the
care
agenda
to, it's all there.
The agenda for the public portion?
Right, this is what I received hard copy for
Okay.
this meeting,
Okay,
and this is online.
all right, no,
So
but
you can-
I'm talking about for the public portion, when people ask
Right, well,
things.
you referenced that verse
So
to
you-
begin with.
we don't get that, so.
No, you go on,
Is
you
that
go on the computer
online
and get it.
Or in the hallway at the town hall? Is that hanging up?
It's right
So
at
we
the
have to
back.
go and research ourselves.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't-
there you go.
Can't ask the question.
Right, this is not the time for that. We take your name, we take your address. If we find that the conversation is such that we need to reach back out to you, or if the mayor has the courtesy to say, stop by after the meeting and we can chat, because, no, we do not have a full house.
Well, then maybe that's an issue. Maybe that's why you got 15 people out here. Maybe you got another 15 people watching at home out of 49,000 people.
Maybe.
Maybe. Thank you.
Mr. Ingrasini?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, Town Council, Mr. President,
Your address, sir?
Deerfield Road, 58 Deerfield Road. I know you spoke about drones before, but I had so many messages on my Ring last night that there were 10 to 15 drones on Deerfield Road alone. And I thought they were checking up to make sure the leaves were picked up. But
Sorry, that was funny.
I meant it to be, but that's what I heard, 10 to 15 drones just on Deerfield Road. My house is actually vibrating. So just a thought to that. I know it's a problem with the government and everything else, but anyway. My point is today, I've been a car collector and a car enthusiast for the past 24 years. And my friend is looking for a spot to have something every Sunday, say. He used to have it at the mall years ago, but then that was done because of the pandemic. It used to be at Habit, where Habit is now. So it brings business to the area. The one I'm looking at is where Brothers Pizzeria and Burger King. Would anybody know how to get in touch with, how to get permission to have a show there on a Sunday? It would probably run from 3 to 6.
Walk into Brothers and ask.
I did.
And what'd they say? They don't want to
Gave me
give
a-
out the information?
They gave me a number to call, but you don't get an answer back. But who actually owns the
Well,
lot?
again, back to the conversation. Otherwise, we'll be here all evening. I'm telling you, Tom, to go to Brothers. No, don't call them. Go there.
Yeah, I do.
One of the two brothers who owns it.
I
they
know
will-
them, I
They
know
will.
them.
They'll explain to you what it's all.
They gave me a number to call, but you can't get in touch with these people, the owner of the property.
Keep calling.
All right. And if you know somebody else, someplace else we could have it, it'd be good for businesses, you know, with his food and a bathroom or something like that. So it was at Carrabba's last year, but it didn't work out too good.
Council
Councilman
President,
Wendell?
can we get our economic development officer to help out?
Look into that?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Make note of
I was also looking at the Chick-fil-A,
He just called Robert.
because for 16 years, I did the Chick-fil-A in Howell. And we used to have 270 cars, and Chick-fil-A used to love us for that. And,
Mayor Cohen?
I would suggest contacting Mr. Zuckerman. He's our Economic Development Officer for the township. And if you
Okay.
have a good idea, whether that's about a program to be run in town or a business to be brought here, that's his responsibility. So I would reach him directly and bring up your idea, and if he may be able to help you, reach out to the
I
owner.
have his card, by the way.
That's
All right,
the
thank you.
person.
And there's a special event application that's going to be going out early of next year that would have to be applied for. So just so you know, you can't just go there and do it, as Mr. Kipp will tell you.
Okay.
He's right behind you. He's,
Well, my friend is fully insured up to $2 million, so nothing will happen. He's been doing it for years, so.
I'll give you another one, the one that I've sort of fantasized about with regard to car shows. The Hammersholt parking lot. Call the superintendent.
Hammersholt.
Yeah, the Hammersholt Park,
Is there
huge.
food- but- Yeah, I know, but is there food around there? That's
Well,
what
then you gotta
people
bring
look
Get
for.
some food trucks.
Give him a food truck.
All right,
We're trying to help you out with some advice.
okay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome, Tom.
Thank you.
And to your point there, Council President.
Yes.
Having known that you've had,
We've had a few cars in the garage.
you've had
in
a
my
few
house.
cars over the years, I'm sure you've been to many car shows and can suggest many,
Mr. Ingrasini has the right idea.
yeah,
I'll chat with Tom.
yeah.
Anyone else wishing to address public? The Council President, this gentleman here?
I wish I had your Mustang.
Good evening. My name is Tarek Bremer. I live at 19 4th Street in East Brunswick. I've been a resident for the last 2 years here in East Brunswick, and I've seen a lot of the great work that all of you have done in this town council. So I'm very appreciative of all the work and all the efforts that you're doing. I am here to voice my support for your reconsideration of a ceasefire resolution in Gaza. Why am I here? I know I've heard in the past that this is a town council and this is not a town issue, but the reason why I would like you to reconsider is simply the fact that what's going on in Gaza is being done using our tax dollars, our U.S. tax dollars. And one thing that we can do as a township is, while we can't necessarily directly change what's going on, we can still voice our opposition because it's being used using our tax dollars. So we wouldn't be the first township to be doing this. There are a handful of other towns in New Jersey and across the country that are doing so. But I sincerely believe that when we look back on history, if we are the ones that have been vocal about what's going on, at least we can say that we tried to do what we thought was right. So that's why I'm here to voice my support. I hope you can reconsider a ceasefire, and thank you very much.
Anyone else? Public? Hearing none, we'll close the public portion. And Council, we have Resolution 24-354, which requires a separate vote. Township Clerk, please read.
Resolution authorizing budget transfers in accordance with NJSA 40A:4-58.
Motion approved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. And we'll move on to our consent agenda. Township Clerk, could you read our consent agenda statement?
Okay, this is for resolution number 24-355 through resolution number 24-361. The following items are considered routine and non-controversial items by the Township Council and will be enacted upon by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda to be discussed and voted on, following the approval of the remaining items listed on the consent agenda.
Motion approved.
Let me just, I'm sorry, Councilman Wendell, anyone need anything separated? I do want to talk about, I don't need it separate, but,
So we're doing 24,361. 61.
Yeah.
There's a typo.
355,
60.
There's a
Just
typo on
making
the
sure. Okay,
agenda.
just
yeah,
making
that
sure.
was brought to my
355
attention.
to
I did not share
361.
that with you, I beg your pardon.
I make a motion to approve 355 to 360.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
But before we take a roll call on that, I want to look at Resolution 24-360, resolution appointing Steve Curtis as our township construction official. Now, that's the official title, construction official. But there's a broad spectrum of things that need to be done under the jurisdiction of a man and a team. And furthermore, what happens here in East Brunswick is that everybody sort of stays around. So there must be something going on, whether it's the governance of the community or the leadership of the various departments that are happening. So whether it's our water safety or the construction or it's recreation, the men and the women who lead these departments, they stay around. I think our outgoing leader had 28 years. You know, not many people can say that they have 28 years of service with employment. And so bringing on Steve, who probably has a couple of years under his belt to begin with, and that's why he was chosen as the new leader of the department. I personally, as the representative of this governing body, look forward to the progressive, dynamic, and exciting work that takes place under his leadership. Roll call, please.
Well stated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. We have, so does the two ordinances, I'm sorry, go to four now?
No, there's just
Just the two?
46 and 47.
46 and 47?
They're separate.
Okay, so we have, I'm sorry,
I know there was.
did we roll call it?
Yes,
Yes.
Wendell and Bahal?
There was some confusion in terms of the exact plotting of, even when I was doing this at home. Council, we have two ordinance for introduction. Ordinance 24-46, Township Clerk, can you please read?
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, authorizing First Amendment to financial agreement between the Township of East Brunswick and Signal Borrower Urban Renewal, LLC, who's a successor to 39 Edgeboro Road Urban Renewal, LLC.
May I have a motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
Mr. Crisculo, can you comment for clarification?
The first one, I'll defer to our township attorney. I'll defer to the township attorney on
Okay.
this one.
The township has a financial agreement in place with Signal Borrower Urban Renewal LLC. The financial agreement is being amended with regard to the annual service charge. It's being amended to be to provide a estimated payment for the year. At the end of the year, there will be a reconciliation to confirm the amount going forward.
Thank you.
If I may.
Council comments?
If I may.
Councilman Wendell?
Just to add to Mr. Iacocca, this is in addition to, what the previous redevelopment agreement, or financial agreement was with 39 Edgeboro LLC, or Urban Renewal LLC, and a new owner is really what it is, and it's trying to tie up a little bit of the ambiguity of the previous financial agreement to make it easier for our tax collection department to annually collect the payment on these properties. So,
Yep, perfect.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbricki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes, and another ordinance for introduction, 24-47. Township Clerk, please read.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, authorizing a financial agreement between the Township of East Brunswick and Brightview East Brunswick Urban Renewal, LLC, regarding property identified on the municipal tax map as Block 87, Lot 10.07, pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1 et sec, and the long-term tax exemption law, NJSA 40A:20-1 et sec.
Motion approved.
Second.
Second.
And Mr. Crisculo, comment on?
Once again, I defer to our esteemed Township Director. I'll defer to our esteemed Director of Law.
Okay.
This
Right,
is-
Cook, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, because
This
we didn't
is-
chat about this before the meeting.
It's fine. This is a financial agreement between the Township and Brightview East Brunswick Urban Renewal LLC. It's a financial agreement. It's regarding property on the corner of Riders Lane and Cranberry Road. It's a 4-story assisted living senior community. This is the pilot agreement, also known as a financial agreement. If anyone has any questions or general comments, please let me know.
Okay.
And Council President, if I
Please.
may, I mean, this is something that has been negotiated back and forth between the redeveloper and the township for several months, and it is a assisted living facility that really does not bring a lot of costs to the town, but yet will bring a lot of revenue to the town. And most of our legal counsel and township have negotiated this for quite some time, and it's going to be a good revenue generating redevelopment opportunity for the town.
Thank you, Councilman. Roll call, please.
Mayor?
Mayor Cohn?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that it's a redevelopment project that sits at that particular spot on the corner of Riders and Cranberry that is not Green Acres. I think a lot of time people were used to seeing the big sign that says Green Acres there, but the corner property was never Green Acres. The larger farm behind it is. But the private property was held by the original family, and because it's 6 acres, it was farm assessed, which meant that it was paying absolutely no taxes to the township. The project that was put there was done through redevelopment because the owner of the property and the developer wanted to work with the town to make sure that they put something on a very high-profile piece of property that matched the needs of the community. As many of you know, if you drive up and down Cranberry Road, it is already a medical corridor with hundreds and hundreds of physician or healthcare-related facilities on that stretch of highway. And in addition, it doesn't generate any children. Last time I checked, that would be kind of difficult. But being an OB, who knows? But so I don't see it as a fear that people have that any tax break that goes along to this property takes away from schools, because there's no school-age children that would be generated from that parcel at all. There were many other options that were put on the table, and if they had brought them to the township's planning or zoning board, would have had to be accepted because the applications that were sought do comply with our zoning laws. They could have had a Wawa and a gas station there. They could have had an apartment complex. They could have had a lot of uses that all fall within our zoning laws, and we would have no legal right to tell them that they can't put that there. The fact that they approached the township to work with us to try to make sure that whatever happened at that piece of property was something that was consistent with what the town wanted, I think should be credit to the developers. And they should, again, be understood that this was the process that they initiated with us, that they didn't have to do. So with all that being said, I think that this is going to be a really nice area that goes along with what's already part of the culture and business of that highway.
And I'm just hoping that everyone is understanding exactly the geography of the location that the mayor's talking about. When I start talking about this as a topic, I reference the Jehovah's Witness Church and how it's across the street from the church on Cranberry Road with the intersection of riders right there. And I think furthermore, because the previous administrations put that sign up, that's, and that, it makes it confusing with regard to the environmentalists who are thinking that we are in violation of environmental law as well as all of the zoning and planning that goes into this particular type of a project. It's only the very beginning of what's going to be happening on that corner. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambiggy?
Abstain.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. And for the good of the cause?
Council President?
Yes.
I understand our esteemed Director of Planning and Engineering is here. You'd like to make a statement about the selection of Mr. Curtis as the construction official, and thank Mr. Burdick.
Mic on? Okay. Council President, I want to thank you for the opportunity and council for honoring Rich Figliotti, our retired construction official.
And for the record, you are?
I'm Keith Kipp, Director of Planning and Engineering.
And your address?
15 Rodney Road, East Brunswick.
Okay. Could have been a professional, but that's fine.
I've been employed for the town for a few years.
No, we were talking about that commitment earlier.
All right, I want to thank you for bringing that up, and I just want to let the town know, all these projects that are going on, we have a lot. We have a lot of building that's going on. We have a lot of improvements to single-family homes that impact all of us, and our construction official keeps that going. And Steve has been a member of our department for, I believe, 19 years. Our subcode official, which is a really key portion of the office for building. And I just want to say that I'm always pushing to keep projects moving, and I have these gentlemen to make sure safety is always the top priority, because that's why we exist, to make sure everything is done safely for the community, to protect the community. And I think we are in great hands with Steve, who's going to take our division into the future with computer technology and some things that we kind of got a little bit behind the way with. And again, Sean Verdi's here, another one, keeps projects moving. And for safety, he'll come in with a set of plans and say, hey, we really need to look at this. And it's a key that we have a great team in the town. I appreciate it, and I want to welcome Steve, and I thank everyone for their time. Appreciate it.
Really not welcome. He's been here long enough. He's part of the team. He's taken over.
That's okay.
So, way to go, Steve.
Thank you.
Anyone else for the good of the cause? Our next meeting is on December 23rd. All those in favor of adjournment signify with an aye.
So moved.
The ayes have it. Good night.
Aye.